Greetings, students. So you've just finished your very last keywords and concepts video for the semester. I know you're probably just crying and sad and yeah, no. All right, so what are we reading this week? Well, we only have one thing to read this week. I'm trying to keep your workload a little bit on the lower side because you do have finals this week. And I want you studying for your final and taking your final, and I know that takes time. So we just have kind of little stuff this week. Going on. So what we're reading actually is the first piece of federal foreign policy America ever passed. America ever did. And this is the Treaty of Tripoli in the 18th century from George Washington. Like, it's literally the first piece, the very, very first piece. So I have pulled a PDF of the full Treaty of Tripoli. You do not have to read the whole thing. I would not do that to you, although it's not that long. I would like you to go through the 12 articles, though, because this is very early us trying to negotiate with the Barbary pirates. This was when we agreed to pay them tribute so that we could pass in the Mediterranean, because you kind of need to go to the Mediterranean if you want to go anywhere on that side of the world, right? So this is our very first piece of federal foreign policy, our very, very first. It's fascinating. So go ahead and give this a read. And as we're reading this week, and as we're watching our documentaries and doing all the things, I want you guys to think about why this is probably the first time you've ever learned about this. Because I'm pretty sure that for most of my students, American born or not, this is the first time you've learned about the Barbary Wars. We do not cover this in American history. We really do not, which is interesting because we usually do cover all the wars. We're very good at covering military history. But for some reason, not this one. So as we're reading, as we're watching, as we're learning this week, start to get some ideas. Why would America not want to include this? Because it's fascinating, it's cool, and we have all these neat heroes who come out of it. Why? Why aren't we as focused on this as we probably should be? In American history. So keep that in mind as you're reading the treaty. I did explain one of the words in the treaty in keywords and concepts in the previous videos. It's the old word for Muslim, so just keep that in mind. Everything else is fairly understandable, even though it is from the late 18th century. It's pretty modern language, so you should be pretty good there. Once you're done with that, come back, and I'm going to introduce to you one of my favoriteest documentaries for this class. All right, see you in the next video.